Support for Just Seen It comes from Weaver's Coffee and Tea, makers of hand-roasted artisan coffee and hand-blended tea. Learn more at weaverscoffee.com. Support for Just Seen It comes from Warner Archive Instant, streaming hard-to-find movies and TV shows direct from the studio at warnerarchiveinstant.com. Jasmine is a wealthy East Coast socialite living an easy life. When her marriage crumbles, she is forced to move in with her sister.
I thought you were tapped out.
I'm dead broke. Really, I mean, the government took everything.
All I can say is you look great.
Oh, now who's lying?
There, she must learn to start over in Blue Jasmine.
Hi, I'm Sean.
Hi, I'm Salim.
And I'm Liz, and we're here today to review the newest film from Woody Allen, Blue Jasmine. We've all just seen it. Sean, why don't you start us off?
I will do my best, yes. So I'm a big Woody Allen fan. I always like to preface these reviews with that because I'm a little biased. But I thought Blue Jasmine was uneven, but ultimately very satisfying. It's got a very interesting character study on this character, Jasmine, played by Cate Blanchett. And I thought it was actually one of the more intellectual screenplays that Woody has written in a while. It asked some interesting questions, and it brought up some interesting characters and character motivations.
Yeah. It's a question of how much better is it than his previous films.
Right.
So as a result, it's not as high concept as Midnight in Paris, but it still has these fleshed out and really interesting characters.
Yeah, I mean, it's in between To Rome with Love and Midnight in Paris in terms of quality. It's like right smack in the middle. And what's great is I was talking about the movie with Leah, a co-reviewer, obviously, that we all know. We were talking and we realized that the film is basically Woody Allen's Streetcar Named Desire.
Yes.
And I was really excited about figuring that out. You guys are just acting real cool right now, but I thought it was really exciting.
Bobby Cannavale's character has some, similarities to Stanley Kowalski.
And she's relying on the kindness of strangers, and they're setting in
Always.
San Francisco with streetcars, which I like that little joke there.
Yeah.
Once you realize that little in-joke that you have, the story has more depth.
It's very much about how Jasmine perceives herself and even how Ginger perceives herself and how each one of these perceptions are in conflict to who they actually are as people. They're striving for an ideal rather than striving to be an actual real person.
Didn't I hear Eddie say he knows a dentist looking for help?
Oh, forget it. Jesus, it's too menial. I go nuts. I want to go back to school. I want to get my degree and become, you know, something substantial.
Cate Blanchett's character of Jasmine, who comes from a very nice, rich world. Even in spite of these class comedy moments, there's always this tremendous, substantial sadness behind her eyes. And it's like that, it's like even when you have just like a thin, ridiculous joke, you can see her just about to fall apart.
I didn't know what I wanted to become. And Howell, my husband, he swept me off my feet. Blue Moon was the song that was playing. You know the song, Blue Moon. Yeah, but I always wanted to do something with my life. You know, I had energy. I didn't just shop and lunch and go to matinees.
I love Cate Blanchett because, like you said, her character isn't the most likable, but we have scenes where she has to deal with her condition. She's talking to herself. She has fantasies or visions of her past. And with that and kind of figuring out where her story starts and, you know, the relationship between her and her sister, it's all necessary to be able to see this character as fully fleshed out as she really can be.
And I think he has an affection for these low-life types in this movie. They're, you know, the low-lifes of the film aren't really necessarily the low-lifes, and that's sort of what he's saying, is that there are people out there like the Bernie Madoff types, which is Alec Baldwin's character. He's the real low-life.
Yeah.
Those that we stereotypically think of as low-life type people, like Bobby Cannavale and
Sally
Andy Rice
Hawkins.
Clay, Sally Hawkins. He's got an affection for these people, and that's pretty clear. This is the first time I've actually noticed that there's some trouble with tone. I don't think Woody Allen ever has a problem with that.
Yeah.
Here, the Streetcar Named Desire elements, you have some violent scenes per se. I wouldn't, you know, not that violent, but they're violent enough where you're looking at a comedy. This film is a comedy, and those scenes I think are somewhat at odds.
With Ginger and the men that are in her life, we have Augie, played by Andrew Dice Clay, we have Chili, played by Bobby Cannavale, and we have Al, played by Louis C.K. Yes. Which, I love the cast. It was great. I mean, obviously, Cate Blanchett is the lead, and she gives an Oscar-caliber performance, but the people in the background are wonderful.
Don't stand there and tell me that. She's married to a guy for years, up to his ass in phony real estate and bank fraud, and you want to tell me she knew nothing about it? Believe me, she knew, Ginger, okay? She knew. But when all those diamonds and minks were flying in, she just looked the other way.
But what's so great about the film is that the ending validates the entire viewing experience. It's not that it's this crazy twist, and it's not that it's just
There's a
a
bit of a
different
twist.
But it's not like a
yeah.
different film. The information you find out about Jasmine makes you relook at the rest of the film in a different way.
It elevates it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a movie about decisions, and there's a certain decision that gets made that when you go back and you look at it and you piece it together, that decision affects not just the main characters, but nearly every single character we've met throughout the
Exactly.
entire picture. Blue Jasmine has its shortcomings, but it's well acted and well written. Ultimately, a very satisfying Woody Allen picture. See it.
No need to run to the theaters, but it is a nice afternoon diversion. See it.
Though not Woody Allen's best, Blue Jasmine is filled with witty dialogue, interesting characters, and an Oscar-winning performance by Cate Blanchett. Definite see it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, guys.
To the Woodman. Huh? I call him the Woodman.
Oh, okay.
I can do that, right?
Who are we clapping?
Support for Just Seen It comes from Warner Archive Instant. Streaming hard-to-find movies and TV shows direct from the studio at WarnerArchiveInstant.com. Support for Just Seen It comes from Weaver's Coffee and Tea, makers of hand-roasted artisan coffee and hand-blended tea. Learn more at weaverscoffee.com.